Hey friends, welcome back to English Easy to Learn. In today's episode, we are going to practice speaking English together. Real questions and natural answers. This is real-life conversation practice. Here's how it works. I'll ask you a question, something simple and useful about daily life. Then I'll give you some example answers, short answers, and longer answers. And then you will answer too, out loud in your own words. I'll give you time. That's it. You listen, you speak, and you grow. Let's begin. Question 1. What's the first thing you do after you wake up? Here is my short answer. I check my phone. My longer answer is, the first thing I do is check my phone. I turn off my alarm and look at my messages. An even longer answer. When I wake up, the first thing I do is reach for my phone. I turn off the alarm, check the time, and look at any messages or emails. I don't always reply, but I like to see what's new. Now you try. What is the first thing you do after you wake up? Maybe you could say, I brush my teeth right away. I open the window and stretch. I stay in bed for 5 minutes and think about my day. Question 2. What do you hear right now? Here's my short answer. I hear birds. A longer answer, I hear birds outside. It's peaceful and quiet. Even longer, right now, I hear some birds near my window. It's a soft sound. I also hear a car passing by on the road. It's a calm morning and everything feels slow. Maybe you could say, I hear people talking downstairs. I hear traffic from the street. I hear music from another room. Question 3. What time do you usually go to bed? Short answer, I go to bed at 11. Longer, I usually go to bed around 11 p.m., sometimes later if I'm not tired. Even longer, I usually go to bed at 11 p.m. I try to sleep early because I get up at 7 in the morning, but sometimes I stay up late. It depends on the day. Maybe you could say, I go to bed very late, around 1 a.m. I sleep early. I feel better when I go to bed at 9. My bedtime changes every day. Question 4. What do you always carry with you? Short answer, I always carry my phone. Longer, I always carry my phone, keys, and wallet. I need them every day. Even longer, I never leave home without my phone, my wallet, and my house keys. They're always in my pocket. Sometimes I also carry a notebook or headphones, especially if I'll be out for a long time. Maybe you could say, I always carry a bottle of water. I carry my student ID and headphones. I always have a book in my bag. Question 5. What is something you're learning right now? Short answer, I'm learning Spanish. Longer, I'm learning Spanish this year. I study a little every day. Even longer, I'm learning Spanish right now. I take online lessons 3 times a week. I try to watch videos or listen to music in Spanish every day. It's not easy, but I enjoy the process. I want to speak with people when I travel. Maybe you could say, I'm learning how to play the guitar. I'm studying for my driver's license. I'm learning English. That's why I'm here. Question 6. What is something you never eat? Short answer, I never eat mushrooms. Longer, I never eat mushrooms because I don't like the taste. Even longer, I never eat mushrooms, but I've tried them many times, but I just don't like the flavor or the texture. They feel strange in my mouth. Maybe you could say, I never eat spicy food. It's too hot for me. I don't eat meat. I'm vegetarian. I never eat seafood because I'm allergic. Question 7. What is something that makes you happy? Short answer, music makes me happy. Longer, listening to music makes me feel happy and calm. Even longer, music always makes me happy. When I feel tired or sad, I put on my headphones and play my favorite songs. It helps me relax and think positively. Sometimes I even sing along. Maybe you could say, spending time with my family makes me happy. Watching funny videos makes me smile. Cooking for my friends makes me feel good. Question 8. What is something you're afraid of? Short answer, I'm afraid of heights. Longer, I'm afraid of heights. I don't like being on tall buildings. Even longer, I'm afraid of heights. When I stand somewhere high, my legs feel weak and I get nervous. Even climbing a tall ladder makes my heart beat fast. I always feel better when I'm back on the ground. Maybe you could say, I'm afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of flying. I'm afraid of speaking in public. Question 9. What is one thing you want to do this year? Short answer, I want to travel. Longer, I want to travel to a new country this year. Even longer, this year I really want to travel somewhere new. I've been working hard and I need a break. I'd like to visit Italy, enjoy good food, and see the ocean again. Maybe you could say, I want to start a new job. I want to study English more seriously. I want to save money and buy a car. Question 10. What is something that annoys you? Short answer, loud noises annoy me. Longer, I get annoyed when people talk loudly on the phone. Even longer, one thing that really annoys me is when people shout or talk loudly in public. I can't concentrate when there's too much noise around me. I like quiet places because they help me think better. Maybe you could say, it annoys me when people are late. I get annoyed when my phone battery dies. It annoys me when someone interrupts me. Question 11. What do you like to do in the rain? Short answer, I like to stay home. Longer, I like to stay home and drink tea when it rains. Even longer, when it rains, I like to stay home. I sit by the window and watch the rain fall. I usually make some tea or coffee and listen to calm music. I love the sound of rain. Maybe you could say, I like walking in the rain. I like sleeping when it rains. I watch movies and relax. Question 12. What is your dream job? Short answer, my dream job is to be a writer. Longer, my dream job is to be a writer because I love stories. Even longer, my dream job is to be a writer. I want to write books that inspire people and make them think. I enjoy writing in quiet places and creating new ideas with words. It's something I've loved since I was a young child. Maybe you could say, I want to be a doctor. My dream job is to be a teacher. I want to open my own business. That's it for today's conversation practice. You just answered a lot of real questions in English. You practiced speaking from your own life, thinking in English, and building longer, more natural answers. This is how fluency begins. One question, one answer, one day at a time. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going. Thank you for joining English Easy to Learn. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. See you in the next episode. Bye.